So I've just bashed out. The sunrise has kind of beat me this morning. Oh, look at that. Straight up. Big patch of bait, exactly what I'm looking for. And the spot I was going to fish is just over here, so I'm in the right place. Straight away. So this is 16 meters here. I'm just going to sand in a little bit here to the back of the ledge where it goes from 16 up to 13. Oh, there's a cray pot right there. That's going to make life tricky for me. Oh, there's a lot of bait. There's just bait everywhere here. That's cool. All right, I'm just going to pull a little bit downwind of this cray pot so I don't get tangled up in it. I'm just going to pull up over the top of the ledge. There's a lot of south in this wind today. In fact, there's a lot of wind in the wind today, but that's pretty typical for where I live at this time of the year. And there's bait everywhere. I really like this. It looks good. So I'm just pulling forward, 16, 15, it'll go 14 to 13 in a minute. And that's where I'm going to put the pick down. As soon as that bottom slopes up a bit, which it should do any second. Wow! Yeah, there's a lot of bait. And in the 13s, this is where I'm going to drop my anchor. Straight down. So now the wind will blow me back off, and I'll just keep feeding rope. I'll just keep feeding rope out until I drop out off to the edge where it sort of drops to 16, and that's where I'm going to stop. Anyway, good morning. I thought I'd come out and try and have a snapper on sunrise. The sunrise has kind of beat me. I got up at 4 o'clock and I was still a bit late, so I'm going to get some baits in the water quickly while it's still in prime time. So give me a second, I'll get sorted out. First bait right here, half a muley, bang, through the eye and then back through the meat, just like that. Try not to get my fingers when the bait's nice and frozen. Unweighted, I've just got a little green bead on there, but that's no big deal. Unweight it and whack that straight out. I need to cast that 10-15 meters, just enough for it to waft out there. That's all I need to do. Bang, in the corner, and I'm going to whack another one out too. Again, I always talk about this. Make sure you got more than one rod rigged up, ready to go. Nothing worse getting a hot bite on and you lose a rig or something and then you got to re-rig. It's just a pain in the backside. There's another one, same thing, through the eye, back through the meat. This one, I just cut the tails off because I think it just releases a bit of juice and just releases a little bit more oil. Gets a bit of smell in the water, so then I use the tails and just chuck them over the side, cut them up into pieces and use them as burley. Second bait, bang, out, and we're fishing. Make sure my drags are reasonable, not too tight, but you want to have enough drag there to set the hook. Couple of muleys in the old burley pot there. Have a look at this. It'll blow the dog off a chain. Oh, that's typical for this area this time of the year. It's coming into summer. These easterlies always whip in the morning and they start to drop out around mid-morning. So unfortunately, it's this time of the morning when it all happens. So you just got to be out here. You just have to suck it up. I've got two baits out, half a muley either side. I'm going to see how they go. If I don't feel like they're sinking enough, I'll put a small ball sinker on just to give me a hand. And I'll just get my coffee, sit back and wait and see if we can't get ourselves a snapper. Okay, I'm satisfied that this one's getting down. It's making it at least down to mid-water. I've just put a little tiny ball sinker on this one over here. I'm quite happy for this one to actually make it to the bottom because there's always a chance of a rogue G-fish or something around here. But this one here, I really like this one to just be wafting mid-water, which is perfect. So mid-water just kind of keeps it in the belly and keeps it visible. It's up, it's off the bottom, it's visible. Anything swimming past will just see this because it's just sitting mid-water. If it's sitting on the bottom in amongst a heap of weed, nothing's going to see it. If it's sitting up mid-water, everything swimming around will see it, and it's really obvious, and hopefully something will grab it. Hopefully. So good having this boat. I can just sit in here. I'm out of the wind, I'm out of all the slop, I'm not getting wet, I'm not getting cold. Just drinking my coffee, sitting back in a chair and just watching these rods in the back corner. Yeah, it's nice to be comfortable when you're fishing. Just makes it a whole lot nicer because, let's face it, it's not really nice conditions out today. If you were in an open boat, this would just be plain uncomfortable. But it's really nice to be able to sit in here and be, like, you know, reasonably comfortable while you're waiting for a bite. Hopefully we can get one. Just make sure you always keep the burley going. It doesn't have to be like huge amounts, but it needs to be constant. It needs to always be flowing, so the fish have got an actual trail they can follow to the back of your boat. If it's just patches, they'll just sit in the patches and follow that. It needs to be a constant trail to lead them to the back of your boat, so just make sure you keep it constant. Oh, here we go. Yeah, yep. And we got something on here. What do we got? No, it's not super heavy. I think it's just a small fish. I think it might be a small pinky actually. It's got that snapper feel to it. Yeah, small. Just a small one. Small one. We can go back. That's a start. It's a start. Here we go. What's this? What's this? What's this? There we go. That's a better fish. Much better fish. Much better fish. This could be the one we came for. Just a nice dinner fish would be perfect for me. Something around the 65 centimeters would be absolutely ideal for me. That's just a nice dinner for me and the rest of the family. That's pretty much all I really want for today. I'm just going to stand in here out of the wind because the wind noise out there is terrible. Well, it's got a bit of go in it. Could be a half decent fish. I'm fishing 20 pound. This is 20 pound Black Magic Inferno braid. 4,000 Daiwa Certate reel. And it's a 7-foot Daiwa aired rod. I think it's 5 to 7 kilo rod. Just perfect for snapper. Sometimes a little bit light, but sometimes you've got to fish a little bit light to get the bites in the first place. If you go too heavy, they see it, and sometimes you won't even get a bite. So this is fishing 30 pound leader. Is it a snapper? Yeah, I think it's a snapper. Yeah, it's a snapper. Oh yeah, he's good. Beautiful. Perfect size snapper. 64 centimeters. I'm happy with that. Put him out of his misery, get him on ice. Oh, there you go. So all I'm fishing, like I said before, I got a 30 pound, it's a 30 pound Black Magic supple trace, about 1 meter, just down to a single 7/0 hook. That's it. I got no weight on this one here anyway. There's no weight at all. It's just a single 7/0 mustard big red hook, 30 pound trace, with a double uni knot straight to my braid line. Stealth, simple. just keep it simple. If you go with sinkers and swivels and multiple hooks, it just scares them off. Just keep it as stealthy and as simple as possible, and you'll find you'll get a much better hookup rate. And also keep it light as well. Stay with that 30 pound, 40 pound leader maximum. Sometimes I'll even down it to 15 pound if it's really clear water and they're really spooky, but I know they're there. But 30 pound is ample. You just got to take your time and you'll subdue them in the end. Anyway, let's see if we can get another one. Righto, I've just tied on. It's a 40 gram snap bait. There he is there. It's a 40 gram snap bait. I'm just going to put a muley on this and I'm going to drop him straight underneath the boat. I'll just drop him to probably to the bottom, and then I'll wind him up 2 turns and just let him dance. He's just going to dance like that, just off the bottom, and see if I can't entice a jewfish, because the jewfish is the man we really want out here. Snapper are fun and all, but jewfish is the eating fish. There it is right there, a little snap bait with a muley on it. Muley's not ideal. Actually, I might have some squid. I've got some squid here. I'll let that defrost a bit. Now straight to the bottom with this. Oh, the old snap bait's hooked something here. Hey, I ought to get this on my head. Let's put that in there for now. This could be a G-fish. I feel like this could be a G-fish. This was just on the bottom. I was just changing my GoPro battery, just ran out, and I said to myself, sure as hell, this is when I'll get a good hookup, as I'm trying to change batteries, and exactly what happened. The way this fish is just hugging the bottom makes me feel like it could be a Jewie. Little inshore Jew nugget. So this snap bait was just dancing. I just dropped it right to the bottom, wound it up probably 2 turns, so I was maybe 2 meters off the bottom, and it just let it there, just leave it dancing. The beauty of these 40 gram ones is they're really light, so they sort of just flop around and dance. It's a decent fish. I'm pretty sure it might be, I can just see it now, I'm pretty sure it's a Jewie. Yeah, it's a Jewie. Ka-chow. That's how we do it. There you go. Beautiful Jewfish. He's got that little 40 gram snap bait just hanging out of his mouth. I'm happy with that. That's a beautiful fish. That's probably the best eating fish you're going to find around. Well, one of the best eating fish. Absolutely delightful. Right, let's sort this guy out, get him on ice as quick as possible. That's my bag limit done for demersal species. I'm pretty happy with that. Jewfish doesn't get much better than that. I'm going to head in a bit closer and see if I can find some kingfish in a bit where it's calmer, because it's really blowing out here. I'm only 3 miles off the coast and it's really stiff easterly, so I'm going to move in a bit closer to the shore and see if I can't catch a few kingies while I'm in there and have a swim. So a lot of people say to me, why did you buy a fiberglass boat and not an aluminium boat? Where I live here, aluminium boats are pretty much par for the course and everyone buys them. This is why I bought a fiberglass boat. As soon as this easterly starts whipping up, which it is now big time, I can still sit on 20 knots quite comfortably. I'm sitting down, I'm cruising. The boat is absolutely loving it. Good luck doing that with a tin boat without needing a chiropractor afterwards. Anyway, each to their own. Tin boats do have their advantages as well, but for me, when it gets choppy, I'd much rather be sitting in a glass boat. I've pulled in the back of this little reef here. Sometimes we get kingfish in here, but it's really dirty. The water's really green. really stirred up. It's windy. I just don't think I'm going to bother. I've got enough fish, I'm happy with that. And I'm going to go home and do a bit of a cook up. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll go home and I'll do a bit of a catch and cook. So I'll take the side off of that snapper and I'll cook that up for lunch. So I'll see you back in the kitchen. You. Righto. So I'm just back in my kitchen. Oh, by the way, Saltfix merch. T-shirts available on saltfixfishing.com. Check them out. The two young blokes that come to say g'day to me at the ramp this morning. Sorry I didn't catch your names and I didn't have any stickers for you, but if you slide into my DMs or send me a private message, I'll hook you up with something a bit later on. So what I'm doing, I'm back in the kitchen. I've actually just got the wings off of this jewfish. So I've cleaned them up. That's it there, the wings. I've cleaned them up, I've taken the scales off of them. Basically, I'm just going to lay them down in a tray just like that. Jewfish is best kept simple, so I've just got some, it's herb salt, a little bit of herb salt on there, cracked bit of pepper, and just a small bit of cayenne, like that, not a huge amount. Jewfish is really nice, just as it is, you don't really have to go overboard with it. And probably a little splash of olive oil, not too much. And I'm going to stick that into the oven. I reckon probably 20 minutes to half an hour, and that will be done. I'll just keep an eye on it in the meantime. I might flip it over, I'll just see how it goes, but I'll give it 20 minutes and see what it looks like, and then we'll have a look.